Well, it was an agonising wait and a painful start to the season, but my word, is it worth it now? What a squad we've got. The director of football is still trying to add to it, by the way, and one of those signings provides this channel with a bit of history too. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 28 of the head coach with me, Daniel. I am a happy man now. Forget the league position because it's still incredibly tight. There's 5 or 6 points separating half the league and Dartford are going to run away with it. But we have got a squad now that's ready to compete. The director of football is still adding to it. And as we mentioned at the start of the episode in the intro, we've got our own little bit of history because we have got the same player in all 3 saves, which I don't think has ever happened before. So if you're looking forward to all of it, as we've got a big FA Cup tie away at National League Eastleigh today, and then a home game against Eastbourne Borough in the league, then please do put a thumbs up on it. We're going to talk transfers, we're going to talk squad, we're going to talk form, because I am starting to feel a very happy man. We said ever since we joined this club, the frustration was there, but we knew what the end goal was. We saw the potential and now it is being delivered. I'm going to go straight to the transfers because the players that have come in and the ones that are still potentially coming in are absolutely excellent. Let's start by having a look at the players that have joined the club and then we'll come back to this page. So since you were last here, 4 players into the club, a few others that have rejected as well, but most importantly, we've actually got sub-defenders now, which is ridiculous. You might be able to just about see the name that's recurring behind my head. He is a player that's popped up in every save, but for now, let's go and get through to the first of the new signings. Jack Wadham, who is someone I think we've managed on this channel before as well. I just can't quite remember where. He came in initially to cover at centre-half for us, but he's a natural holding midfielder, and that's where he's going to be first choice now. 3-star ability, 4.5 potential, only 22 years of age, and similar to some of the other signings, we looked at Eastleigh, who came in last episode. Naturally fit. And when we're playing 2 games a week, having those players are priceless. Great in a tackle, great positioning, stamina's good, first touch is good, not bad on the ball, great signing. Very, very happy. The second one that came in was Kamal Grant, and this well and truly solved our problem because he is a 3.5-star centre-half, 5-star potential, again only 22, again on 300 and something quid a week, not breaking the bank on less than a lot of the star players at Peterborough Sports were. And look at both his attributes and stats, great performances, great positioning, great jumping reach, great tackling, marking, the boy's got the lot. I am so pleased with him. And he's the one where I went, yes, now we've got a first 11. But that wasn't enough, was it? Because there are now 2 more additions. One that gives us great strength in depth and one that improves a position that was already okay. So first was Peter Prince on loan from Crewe Alexandra, a centre-half, left-back, left wing-back and holding midfielder. A very decent defender. 2-star ability, 4.5 potential. He's been given a contract as an important player, so with us not being able to start him too regularly, he might get recalled at some point. But looking at him for now, I'm so pleased. He's not great, he's not a standout, but again, he's 6'3", he's great in the air, his rest of his attributes are okay. And to be honest, as a backup defender, for a substitute in this squad from where we started the season, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? And then it got even better because we got another reunion. We just signed him in the Distillery Builder Nation where he's declined a lot. He started at Woking in our live stream save on Twitch. But Reece Grego Cox, he's not declined quite as much here. 4 years in, 28 years of age, 3.5-star ability winger. So now we've got Alfie Lloyd up front. Now we've got the new signing Eastleigh on the left. And now we've got this guy on the right. That means the likes of Reece Smith back on the bench. Archie Thomas back on the bench. What a squad we've got. We've actually got depth. We've got quality. And I'll be honest with you now, I'll be very disappointed if we're not in the playoffs because this side is the best I've managed in the head coach. Which, going back to the first day of the season when we managed our worst, it's not bad at all, is it really? What a player he is, really solid, and hopefully once he's settled in, got himself match fit, he'll make a real impact on this football club. So with those boys in, I'm now really happy with the depth, the quality, the first 11, the bench, everything. But he's still trying to sign more. The director of football, he's still got $2,000 of wage budget, he's still got $60,000 of transfer budget, and he's still trying to give me a better squad. So looking at the guy he's trying to bring in now, William Van Leer from Concord, he is a centre midfielder of 2.5-star ability. Again, would add real depth to the squad, give us substitutes, give us a chance to rotate, which with the FA Trophy coming up would be pretty good to be fair. Has already played half a season at this level with Hemel, and he's a really good pro. So if we can get him in, I'm very happy. There's also a player in on trial that was brought in by the director of football, but I'm going to assume because of Reece Grego-Cox that he's not going to get a deal, because the man who came in was Will Rickard, and that was, 2.5 weeks ago now. No sign of him getting a contract offer. He's wanted by other clubs. And to be fair, in terms of his technical attributes at least, he's not as good a winger as Grego-Cox. So I'm happy with what we've got. So with that transfer work done, let's go and have a look at the schedule and how those signings, as they've trickled in, have affected our results on the pitch. Maybe a couple too many draws, nearly a scare in the FA Cup, but it's been a brilliant month and a half. You were with me for Slough and Bath as we surprisingly picked up 4 points, and hanging in there has made the difference. And for the first time, look, we've actually put in some good defensive displays as well. We drew 2-2 at home to Weymouth. David Oliver bringing us back from 2-0 down in that one in the second half. He's another player who's not in the first 11 now. 0-0 away at Tonbridge. Solid draw, clean sheet. Great performances from Brooks and Coccaraccio, two of the best signings of the summer. We had another new grade out defender playing centre-half in that one. A 5-2 win at home to Yates in the FA Cup second round qualifying. 2 goals for Alfie Lloyd, 1 for Etaluku, his first for the club. Reece Smith and Rafferty Pedder getting 1 each as well. A 2-1 win at home to Truro. A late consolation made it look closer than it was. Lloyd and a brilliant Pedder free kick getting us the win there. We then got battered at Kings Langley, but somehow kept it to 0-0. Will Bleeds, the sub-keeper, he had an absolute barnstormer. He was brilliant. We then won 3-1 in extra time in a replay. Alfie Lloyd with a hat-trick late on. Before a 1-0 win against Canvey Island in the league last week. An easier run on paper, but really helped by having Alfie Lloyd up front through the middle. We look so good, we look so threatening, and we're starting to look better at the back as well. And once these players all get fit, which they're building towards now, the likes of Grant, Grego-Cox, once they're up to full speed, we're going to be a super side. I have no doubt we'll be in the mix. It's just whether we've given too much of a gap now. 9 points to Dartford at the top. Everyone else, I think we can catch, because those draws earlier in the year, they've proven really crucial. So let's go and get into the first of today's 2 games. I am very excited to be in the FA Cup 4th round qualifying. We're expected to lose at Eastleigh, but I'm hoping they're going to rotate a bit. I doubt they will. If we can get through to the first round, get a big tie, it would just keep those finances flowing, because they're still positive at the moment. We're still looking all right. And I'd like to, once we're settled in and officially not new at the club, maybe then get a first coaching badge here as well. That would be our 3rd of the save, and it would start to make us look pretty good, I feel. So let's go and get through to the Eastleigh match. We've got some money in the bank, but I'm begging that they play their reserve side. We're going to revert to first team for this one, not like our previous ties. 3,000 through the gate should help us massively. They've got some good players. What can we do? This is going to be our 11, and you can see we've got a full 18 with 2 pretty average youth players on the bench, but 5 really good subs. A decent backup keeper, Smith, Thomas, Oliver, Prince. Brilliant options outside the first 11. Grego-Cox and Kamal Grant continue to build their fitness at the back, and the rest of the team's pretty good. The only one who's not got a great rating is Coccaraccio, but he's performed brilliantly. Kobe Brooks in goal the same, and the rest of them are all very competitive at this level. So that will be our 11 in full. Is Brooks in goal, Stevenson and Woodthorpe the fullbacks, with Kamal Grant and Coccaraccio centre-half. Wadham in the holding role, Pedder and Ewing centre midfield. That's been one of the beauties of Wadham signing too. We've pushed Ewing into midfield, where he's had a real impact for the club. And then Grego-Cox and Etaluku on the wings, with Alfie Lloyd through the middle up front. 11 goals for him, Oliver on the bench with 6. I mean, I'm happy. And that's all I can tell you now. We're probably underdogs for this one. We'd expect to lose against higher tier opposition. But either way, the smile is back. And we haven't said that for a long time in this year's head coach. And here we are with Eastleigh. I'm a little bit worried that they're playing first team players and people I recognise. And some of the names they've got here at non-league level are frightening. Tristan Abraham's a good striker, but look behind him. Josh Windass and Nathan Broadhead. A big drop down for both in terms of the game. Matty Daly in midfield's a super player. Nick Cerula's a solid wingback. Kyle Hawkins at the bench. Christian Magoma is a great side. But I would love to know how Windass and Broadhead have found themselves playing in the National League. Whereabouts are Eastleigh in that league, in fact? Because, yeah, they're 6th. They're a very good side. I want to know how they've got them, because they can't be that old. Broadhead's 27. He's absolutely stunning at National League level. And then if we go and have a look at Josh Windass, he is, again, very good. Only 31. He's worth 1.6 million potentially and joined 1 year ago after leaving Sheffield Wednesday. Where else have we got quality? Matty Daly in the middle, super player. I mean, this is a side that should wipe the floor with us. So let's go and see if they do. Into the first half, we're going to go counter-attacking. We're just going to try and stay in the game, as we have so often this year. Well, 6 minutes on the clock, and we're on the front foot with a Rafferty Pedder free kick. Trying to make a most of set pieces here, as it's out to Greg O'Cox, through to Wadham, who gets it back to Woodthorpe on halfway. Down the left to Greg O'Cox, who finds himself on the wrong side. Good delivery, though, into the back post. And it's probably cleared by the man who should have been near him. But unfortunately, there was no one covering his position. As Rutherford on the right loses it to Etalutu. Carries the ball forward. 2 options inside. Pedder's one. Through to Lloyd. It's a good interception. I still fancy Lloyd with a little bit of pace against that back 3. Can he get on the shoulder as Grant intercept for Ewing and Lloyd? You can already tell how much more confident we are. What about the foul there on Etaluku? Advantage signalled by the ref. And it was almost a great one. Pedder's shot blocked. It's out for a throw. Maidenhead looked good early on. As Brooks plays the ball out from the back. It's back 4v back 5 in this game. Greg O'Cox gets it from Stevenson. Cuts inside. Back to Coccaraccio. Chance to carry it forward, but just goes long, and that's pretty aimless in truth. Tyra gets there, the Eastleigh keeper, brings the ball out to Fox. He can turn on the ball, goes long downfield. Broadhead challenges, but Cerula picks it up. Down the left he goes to Windass, chance to shoot. Oh, it's a stunning effort. Great bit of work, and unfortunately for him, it hits the woodwork and comes clear. But 10 minutes gone, this could go either way. Eastleigh look a real threat, they've got quality. We've got pace on the break as Coccaraccio clears downfield to Cerula. Chance to get it through to Tristan Abrahams. Good save, Brooks. Again, not the first time we've said that this season. It is an end-to-end game of football. It is a quality cup tie. And Windass will now have the corner. To the back post it goes, does it? No. Fox heads in at the near stick. We were so worried about marking the big men that we left the other man free. First goal for the club. Eastleigh take the lead. And in truth, they've probably got the better team. Well, back with 29 minutes on the clock. Eastleigh again the side on the ball, and I think this might just be a bridge too far this tie, as Grant heads away to Etaluku. Woodthorpe goes long. Lloyd is up, flicks on, but there's no one there other than him to chase it, as Hawkins finds Fox. Chance to go long downfield, which he does. Coccaraccio heads away to Pedder, and we are still finding that space in the middle with the extra centre mid. Lloyd gets the ball there, hits the post the first time. The rebound's in, but it's offside. Great work, Greg O'Cox down the right. Early delivery, but just offside, Alfie Lloyd. 1-0 it stays, but I'm really impressed with how much we're threatening them on the break. They are a brilliant side. We've seen some of the players, and the performance we're putting in, it shouldn't be sniffed at. If you look at the stats there, on the right, we had 3 clear-cut chances to their none. I'm not sure we've had 3, to be honest, but either way, 1-0 at the break to Eastleigh, and we are well and truly in this cup tie still. Let's go and get the lads out for the second half, encourage them into more, and see if we can get a replay, because that would be great, as Magoma hoofs the ball straight through to Brooks in our goal. 10 minutes gone in the second half, and we're on the front foot again. Woodthorpe to Etaluku, through ball to Alfie Lloyd. Has support, he's going to have to go himself. That's a red card, ref. Second yellow, Rutherford. And he's off. Now we've got a real chance on the counter. I'm not sure why it's number 1 Frank Dowen sent off. We did have one in our live streams where it said Edgar Davids at some point. But for now, it's 11v10. Windass has the corner though. And if they score from these again, it will be trouble. Every time. And this is something when you step up the levels. You meet those more physical players. Those more imposing players. 2-0 Eastleigh, cup tie over. We're going to go attacking regardless. We're going to get the 2 subs on. And then we'll try and think about getting back in the game. So Grant and Greg O'Cox are building fitness. Let's protect them. Prince on left centre half. On the right wing, Reece Smith. We know they've both got quality. I'm going to leave Alfie Lloyd up front. I'm going to bring on Archie Thomas for Ollie Ewing. and we're just going to freshen it up in the middle a bit. 3 players that would have been starting at the start of the season had they been here. And now we've got a bit of rotation, which is great. Let's see what we can do the last 25, because we've got a throw on the right with Stevenson. He throws into Smith, gives it back to the fullback, cross into the back post to Etaluku. 6'4" of him, Woodthorpe to Lloyd, back to Etaluku. And we're back in the cup tie. 11v10, we've got the advantage, and we're starting to make it count. The deficit is half, there's still a quarter of the game to go. Can we get ourselves at least a replay? Surely this is the best chance we're going to get, but if we could turn it round, it would be smashing. Let's go and encourage the lads. There's 10 minutes to go. We can't do much more tactically. We've just got to try and press. But it's an Eastleigh corner. We know how good they are from them. Prince heads away. Thomas gets there. We've left 2 up, and this is where it could count. Smith turns to Wadham. What's he doing up there? It should have been Alfie Lloyd. Turns in. Who cares? It was brilliant work. He puts it over with the shot. No composure in front of goal. And unfortunately, it's 2-1. We've got 1 minute plus stoppage time to go. And Woodthorpe's got a throw by the corner flag. 1-2 with Wadham. Crossing is headed away. Only as far as Rafferty Pedder. 25 yards out. Shots just onto the roof of the net. You can't argue that these boys have given everything. Probably deserve to win on the balance of play. But set pieces cost us. And at the higher level, you've got to be better from those. Through the dressing room we go. It was a great effort. And now we can turn our attention back to the league. We'll be back for our next game in a moment. Back to face Eastbourne Borough, a game we are expected to win by both fans and board. They are starting to expect results now with the squad we've got. A bit strange that the Rickard trial's coming to an end. We're being recommended to offer him a contract, but the director of football is the man in charge of that. I wonder if he's not because of the wage demands, because we've got no one on over 375 quid a week, I don't think. And he is asking for big money. Looking at another bit of bad news, unfortunately, that centre midfielder rejected us, William Van Leer, but George Cottam has now made an offer for a 17-year-old, Sam Belston, who, to be fair, would have been a great starter at the start of the season, but does give us another backup option, so I've got no complaints. I love that despite giving us a good squad now, he's still being really active, and I just hope that if we can keep people fit, if we can get on a run, we can compete at the top of this division. But let's get through to the team selection, see who's fit for today. Most players are almost there. It's only Tuesday night. We've got another game Saturday, so I am probably going to have to just rotate a bit. But looking at the 11, it will still be fairly strong. So the changes we're going to make, Grant will go to the right, Peter Prince will come in left centre half. In midfield, Pedder will get a rest for Thomas, Ewing will switch roles, and then up front, Lloyd out, Oliver or Smith in. I'm going to go for Oliver because Smith's not the best finisher. So although there's a few changes and a few stars coming out, we're actually able to rotate now. We can leave 3 star players out in the spine of our team and still have a very good 11. 3 players coming in. Thomas and Oliver were starting every game before the signings, and Prince is a damn sight better than the greyed out players we had at the start of the year. And great that he can come in for every 2 or 3 games because that means he's not likely to get recalled. So really pleased with that. The 3 stars are on the bench if we need them, as is Reece Smith. So let's go and get into it. Maidenhead v Eastbourne. They should have played at the weekend too. So let's see what impact it has on both of us. Well, the Eastbourne side is perhaps not full of big names, not the biggest team on paper, but there are some familiar names for us and our channel. Matt Everett, a superstar last year at Dover in the head coach, and on the bench Daniel Williams. Those of you who followed the banger save back in FM21 will know that name well. But let's go and get into the first half. We're on a good run. Let's go and show them what we can do. Let's get through to the first half. Let's try and dominate the game. A decent crowd out here at Maidenhead. Hopefully we can deliver for them. We're back just 5 minutes in as Eastbourne have got the ball at the back. Looks like they're going for the longer ball today. Bit worried about Peter Prince. He's well rated, but he doesn't play particularly well. So let's just see what he does here as Brown's cross is blocked. Back to Ade, the fullback. Good ball in. Good header, Everett. Just wide. First scare for us there, but it's early doors and I'm sure we'll be all right. So it's a long ball forward. Grant misses out. Amolu gets in. Good defending from Grant. He recovered really well there with a sliding challenge. And Brooks is able to pick it up. Half an hour gone. I'm a little bit worried about the lack of chances. It's something we've done very well recently. It's gone back to the FA Cup for some reason. Let's have a look at the South. Dartford losing at home to Truro. Oh, these are the days we've got to take advantage. It's 0-0 at half time. We've created next to nothing. So let's point the finger. You've got to play better. and most of the lads are now motivated. Well, 5 minutes into the second half, and just as I said we could do with avoiding injuries, keeping people fit, Grego Cox has picked up an injury. Reece Smith will come on for him. I'm also going to make the change up front. Oliver off, Lloyd on. I'm not waiting any longer. Let's go and impact this game. We've got one change left. Pedder's still there if we need him. With 50 minutes on the clock, we've got two big guns on up front. 25 minutes remaining. No sign of a goal yet. Grant and Stevenson struggling at the back, but I've got to get Pedder on here. I mean, I could drop Grant back one in fairness, but I'm not going to. I'm going to take Wadham off, Ewan into the holding role, and we're back to the midfield that started the season, that have played together the most times. Let's demand a little bit more here, because it's gone very quiet. It's a long ball forward from Eastbourne. Ewan heads away. Pedder down for Smith. He can charge down the right. Through ball to Alfie Lloyd. 1-on-1. Beats the keeper and scores. That man is the best striker running in behind we've had all save. If only we could have a save where we had him and Hudlin together. I think we could go to the Premier League. 20 minutes to go. 1-0 up. And to be fair, we've not had many chances in this game. It's not been a vintage performance, but at the moment, it's a crucial 1-0 win. And with Dartford losing at the top, that gap starts to close. And from the start of the season, where we had the weakest squad we've ever had, I'm now looking at this and saying, could we win the title? Because the team is that good. As Lloyd's in behind again, beats the keeper to it, but he's forced a little wide. And he tries to shoot, but he's blocked from an acute angle. Still picks the ball up again though to Thomas. Into Pedder. And what a signal this would be. We can rest 3 players from the start and win a game. That would be a big statement of intent. The problem is, how bad is the Grego Cox injury, and can we hold on for a start as Stevenson chips forward? Lloyd doesn't get there. It's a long ball forward. Grant does well with it, but fortune down for Hunt. Over the top, Amolu's in. Good run from him. How on earth has he squeezed that in? In at the near post from the most acute of angles. It's a stunning finish. Gets so much power on it. And it's 1-1, and all of that talk has become very arrogant because the first shot on target has gone in, and now we're trying to chase the game late on. A 1-1 draw in the circumstances would be pretty disappointing. 6 minutes added on, we've gone attacking, but we've got nothing to show for it. A frustrating night at the office, a 1-1 draw and an injury. But having rotated a bit for a midweek game, we can't be too upset. I know there's going to be odd games like this in the league this season now, but we've just got to keep picking up points. And tonight, we've still done that. Well, unfortunately, it is quite a bad injury. 7 to 8 weeks listed there, 5 to 8 out there. But either way, he's going to miss at least the next month and a bit. Constantine sacked by Luton. They've lost another manager. They are 19th in the Championship now. I'd love to get that job, but there's no chance we're getting it at this stage. Let's go and have a look at the schedule, though. When are we next going to be back? We have got a big run of fixtures coming up. We've got the FA Trophy at the end of November, Dagenham at the start of December. I think we've got to come back then because Dagenham and Redbridge at this level, one of the favourites, a big side. And Dover, a side we've got so much history with on this channel. They featured in our first ever head coach save. Then we ended up with them again in last year's story. They were our first club in England after getting stuck in Wales. Familiar pattern, eh? So they're the two I'm aiming to come back for, unless of course we get a massive FA Trophy tie. But if you did enjoy this episode, a close run cup tie, frustration in the league, but what a squad we've got together now, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you think of the team the director of football's assembled and still continues to try and add to. I knew it was going to be a big potential club, and thankfully it looks like we're starting to reach it. Once these players are fit, I feel we're going to be flying. But do you agree? Let me know down in the comments. If you want to stay up to date and find out, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back here in a couple of days' time after the Build a Nation returns tomorrow. I'll put the latest summer transfer special from that one above my head now, and hopefully I'll see you here next time. Thanks for watching.